All right, I'm here with Rebecca Boxall. Rebecca is running for Arlington City Council, District 5. Rebecca, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, are you ready for your first question?
Yes.
Okay, please introduce yourself to the voters of Arlington. How long have you lived here? What is your occupation? And what notable experience do you have serving our community? This will be a 3-minute response.
I'm Rebecca Boxall. I've lived in Arlington since 2007, so 13 years. I'm an architect. I have served on various neighborhood boards, city boards, and I'm currently serving on the Arlington Planning and Zoning Commission. Prior to that, I was on the Zoning Board of Appeals for 3 terms. And that's about it.
All righty, thank you. The next question, this will be a 2-minute response.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you running for office?
I'm running for office because I think I could do a really good job in this position and represent the people of District 5. I have just my local experience since moving to Arlington and being involved with the city commissions and boards and neighborhood associations, plus all my years of experience in architecture and design and planning. I just think that I have the background and the experience that I can do a good job.
All right, thank you. Okay, your next question. What are your top 3 priorities for stimulating small business activity and entrepreneurship in Arlington? This will be 2 minutes.
Okay. The first thing is, I've got this on notes. Let's see here. I would like to incentivize small business, and we need more small business in the city so that people can not have to drive so far to jobs and things like that. So some of the things I would like to incentivize are shared work environments, incubation parks, and other incentives such as a sales tax abatement for small businesses, say for 2 years, that for sales-based businesses, and probably something comparable for non-sales based small businesses, just to give them a little break, a little boost for the first 2 years. But there are lots of what they call pop-up businesses that we could support on the city level. One that I'm aware of is that they have in other cities is like an incubation, but it's a shed park. It's basically little sheds that like your garden sheds, but it would have electricity and so forth. But you could open your business at this shed park. You rent it for a nominal sum for 2 years while you get your business going. And then in that 2-year period, then you would presumably want to rent a real brick and mortar place. The same thing for home-based businesses. A lot of home-based businesses eventually turn to brick and mortar businesses and non-home-based. So I think we need to support home-based businesses as well.
All right, thank you. Okay, the next question. Do you feel that the current development impact fee schedule, certificate of occupancy procedures, or permitting processes should be modified? And if so, in what ways? This will be 2 minutes.
Yes, I do think they should be simplified because they're a little bit daunting for small businesses or people, new business owners, people who don't have a lot of experience. What I'd like to see is some kind of a city person that could be assigned to new businesses to sort of walk them through the process, help them with the paperwork, help them with the timing of when you have to put in these reports, when you have to file for this, where do you go, that sort of thing. It could be in the form of a manual or a video, but I think a personal sort of assistant, if you will, to help you navigate all these city things would be helpful to a small business. Somebody who's just starting out, has no idea where to go and who to talk to.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next question. What should the city do differently, if anything, to address problems with neglected multifamily housing structures? This will be 2 minutes.
Well, I think that would go under code enforcement, but I think we really need to work with the property owners and try to address those issues with them first before we go the route of code enforcement. A lot of these are sort of nominal ventures to begin with, and they cannot get out from underneath their maintenance burdens and their just really dilapidated buildings that sometimes in some cases they shouldn't even be they should be torn down, and these people hang on to the buildings forever, thinking they can eventually outrun these problems. But as we see in some instances, they just can't do that. In terms of assistance from the city, maybe helping them to find private developers that will help them to redevelop their property or to sell it, and that sort of thing is the only thing I can think of right at the moment about that. But offer help first, and then go down the route of code enforcement.
Thank you. Okay, your next question. What sort of policies might you pursue, if any, to promote social justice, equity, and inclusion in our community? In 2 minutes.
The main thing that I would like to focus on is housing. In my mind, housing and jobs, but I'll stick with housing for the moment. In my mind, if you have a secure home or a secure place to operate from, you have a leg up over people who just are ready to be evicted at any moment, or their situation, their resident situation is very shaky. You can't really concentrate on anything else if you're not sure you're going to be there the next night, or if you're going to have a place to sleep the next night. So what I would really like to focus on is housing security. Of course, jobs play into that as well, but housing security is a big thing for your family.
All right, thank you. And the next question, what initiatives will you pursue, if any, to address homelessness and poverty in Arlington? 2 minutes.
Okay, that goes back to the housing issue. I would like to see housing, I have a lot of specific proposals, but I'll stay general. I would like to see a larger mix of housing types within neighborhoods. I'd like to see our zoning codes changed so that we could have more small housing, reduce the minimum lot size, reduce the minimum apartment size, reduce the minimum house size, so that more people can get on the property ladder. I'd also like to have people who own property to be able to improve their property by having a rental income off of it, by having ADUs and things like that. I believe this would help a lot, take a lot of the pressure off of the rental market by rents being so high, if there were more options for people. And they need more housing types of options, more price points. We just have too much uniformity in the rental market.
All right, thank you. Okay, the next question. What specifically will you do to build better working partnerships with the University of Texas at Arlington, Tarrant County College, or the Arlington Independent School District? 2 minutes.
Okay, that's something I haven't given a lot of thought to, but I have had dealings with UTA when I was the president of Heart of Arlington Neighborhood Association, and we formed good partnerships with them on a lot of very local neighborhood issues. So I do have some contacts there. There are people in that organization who are at UTA, so I would feel very comfortable. And I know people at the other institutions as well, including one is my sister. So I would just reach out to each of them and find out what kind of things common programs or common goals that we have, and try to work from there.
All right, thank you. Okay, the next question. Do you think that the City Council should take additional steps to mitigate the negative effects of tourism-based economic activity on established neighborhoods and long-term residents? This will be 2 minutes.
Yes, probably, and they already have. In some instances, they've cracked down on the so-called party buses that were parking in neighborhoods. One issue that I'm aware of is the STR issue, which is going to be affecting the neighborhoods immediately. In fact, it already is affecting the neighborhoods around the stadium and the entertainment district, where people are going in and buying up several of these smaller, more modest houses, and then building large single-family homes, but they are basically STR. They're basically mini hotels, even though they're classified as a single-family home. This will impact the people in those neighborhoods positively for those who want to sell, but negatively for those who just want their nice, quiet neighborhood to remain the same. So, so far, I haven't seen a lot of negative input about that. to the city, but then I'm not there at the city at the moment. So maybe there have been some complaints, but I'm personally aware of some of these issues through my architecture work.
Good, thank you. And last question, and this will be 3 minutes. What will make you a better candidate for city council than your competitors?
Well, first of all, I'm a resident of Arlington. I've been a resident here and had my homestead here for 13 years. I also have a investment house also in District 5. So I'm a resident and a property taxpayer here in Arlington. I'm invested in the community. I'm invested in what happens to Arlington. This is where I live. This is where I'd like to see my city succeed. I'd like to see my district especially succeed. And downtown is part of the district, so that's a big part of it as well. I'd like to see redevelopment of a lot of dilapidated or half vacant commercial facilities. I'd like to see housing improvements. As I discussed in the previous segment, I have a lot of ideas about improving our housing zoning. So I feel like I have the experience to do those things, to accomplish those goals.
All right, thank you. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.